now.
Right now at 5, high wind warnings are in effect for several different areas. You can see from our sky cam there just how much those gusts are taking a toll on our air quality and visibility. Good evening to you. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Brian Loftus.
And I'm Denise Valdez. So we begin with live team coverage here at 5. Joe Moeller is standing by in one of the hard-hit areas, and David Charnes in studio tracking outages and video on social media.
But first, let's get right over to Sally Jaramillo with what is going on now. Sally.
Yeah, Brian, Denise, Las Vegas was under a dust storm warning that expired at 4:15 p.m., but those dust storm warnings still remain in place for our friends in Mojave County and San Bernardino County. I want to get right into it where I show you that high wind warning in full effect. That still lingers all the way into that 3 a.m. start of your Tuesday. Those gusts peaking up to 50 to 70 miles per hour. We're still tracking the aviation weather warning all the way to 6:15. You can expect delays down at the airport along with a wind advisory for our friends on Caliente Pioche. They're definitely going to be tracking those gusts to peak up to 45 to 55 miles per hour, all of that blue area there. Right, aside from that, an air quality remaining pretty unhealthy. David will bring you more of that conditions, but first, also showing you that northwest Inyo County topped out at 83 miles per hour wind gusts. Angel Peak so far 66, Mountain Springs with the 50s. You can see the strongest gusts so far have appeared to be in our higher terrain. Outside right now tracking 76 degrees, and we want to show you those south-southwest winds staying 26 miles per hour for the Las Vegas Valley. Throughout the night, the wind won't be going anywhere. We're still tracking very strong conditions. Temperatures also looking to drop for tomorrow, so we'll be talking more about the major temperature drop you can expect along with more wind down the road. And now let's send it over to David Charnes with a closer look at what's happening on social media.
Yes, Sally, someone tweeted at me earlier today, "Is this normal?" And I said, no, it is not. We normally don't see things looking like this out here with this dust warning we're in right now. I want to tell you that the Neon Museum is closed tonight. If you are planning to head that way, maybe you're in town visiting. Not a great afternoon, certainly, to be outside. So what does that mean when we talk about a wind advisory, a wind warning, this dust warning that's happening right now, that dust in the air? What does that mean? So if you're somebody who is in one of those sensitive groups, you just want to take it easy, maybe not go outside and exercise right now. We're talking about the elderly, people who have respiratory issues like asthma or bronchitis, and of course if you're like me, who is always rubbing their eyes when this happens to us every once in a while when there's so much dust in the air, you want to just keep your doors and your windows closed. Let's talk about some video from earlier today. We're going to show you the time lapse from Prim, and if you look to your left, to your right, there it is. Brian Loftus indicating he drove through this earlier today. It is affecting your travel out there. Thankfully, it looks like we're not going to see something like this again, but certainly you can certainly see its dangerous conditions. Let's talk about those power outages right now. The good news is the outages actually seem to be coming down at this hour, and as we take a look here in southern Nevada, we're just at about 188 customers without power, so that's pretty much nothing. We see some mild, some sporadic outages here in the Henderson area over on Mount Charleston, where we tend to see these outages when we get these wind events. All right, Brian, Denise, back over to you.
All right, I do want to point out I was going the speed limit there, David, driving back from Disneyland. Well, the west side of the valley getting hit by some of the strongest winds that David and Sally have been referencing.
Joe Moeller continuing our team coverage from the 215 and Summerlin Parkway. And Joe, we can tell just by your shirt moving around, it's still pretty blustery out there.
Yeah, definitely over the past hour, the wind has definitely picked up and the air quality seems to have gotten much worse. I'll give you a live look here. If you're familiar with this area, Summerlin Parkway and the 215, if you're going east on Summerlin Parkway, you can usually see the entire valley. You can see the strip, but you can just see how much dirt is in the air right now. And if we pan over to the 215 just north of Red Rock, just about an hour ago, you could see Red Rock Casino from this point, but you can't even see that. But this is really impacting the conditions for drivers. You can see the 215 here. We spoke to some truck drivers earlier who were preparing for this wind.
As the wind picks up, the concerns for truck drivers begin. From dust causing low visibility to worries of trailers flipping, drivers at this truck stop on Blue Diamond in the 15 knew the wind was coming. Monty Fennell was on his way to Southern California. He has been tracking the warnings on an app on his phone.
I'm just trying to get there as safely as possible so I don't have more delays.
If a truckload isn't heavy enough, some truck drivers will pull over if conditions get bad enough to avoid a flip. Other than a snowstorm, Fennell says the wind creates some of the most unfavorable driving conditions. But a big concern is other drivers.
Especially if winds are high, slow down, don't maneuver as quickly, don't jerk the steering wheel.
Now back out here live, I want to give people another look at this area. If you're familiar with it, you know you can see these hills to the west of Summerlin West usually, but you can just see how much dust is in the air. We just heard that truck driver take it slow. Another quick look for driving conditions here. Summerlin Parkway, you can see just how much dirt, especially if we look eastbound here, you can see the air quality is just not the best right now. So tips out there, slow down, take it easy, and if you don't have to be on the road, it might be a good idea to stay home. I'll send it back to both of you in the studio.